3 Things Krishna Can Do as Damodar, by Krishna's Mercy. Tatascha damodartam sa yayodam bandhanat. Quote, it is thus that he became known as Damodar, for being bound by a rope. Vishnu Purana 5.620. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada explains that Krishna is a name for God. Krishna is neither the exclusive property of a specific group of people, nor some figment of the imagination. Rather, as we know that the entire collection of objects exists within something described as the universe, so there is a source to that everything. Krishna is one way to address that source. But there is a specific meaning. The name Krishna describes the source of everything as all-attractive, from every angle of vision, from every perspective, for the good and for the bad, for the young and for the old, for the pious follower and for the lowly sinner, for the true believer and for the hardened skeptic. Everything about Krishna is attractive. This is confirmed directly in Bhagavad-gita, where Krishna, the person, describes how everyone follows him in some way or another. Ye yathama prapadyante. Ye yathamam prapadyante, tans tathaiva bhajamya aham, mam vartmanu vartante, manushyaha parth, sarvashah. Quote, all of them, as they surrender unto me, I reward accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 4:11. While Krishna might be one of the best names to use to address God, we should know that it is not the only name. The same Krishna is also known as Damodar. As the meaning here is rather peculiar, the actions surrounding the origin of the name offer further insight to the person who is already all-attractive. 1. Accept taunting words from his mother. Damodar is a Sanskrit word that combines 2 terms. There is Dhamma, which refers to a rope or binding. There is Udara, which is the belly. Damodar is thus someone who is bound by a rope around his belly. How can God ever be bound? Is that condition not reserved for us lowly mortals who are not God and will never be God? Is it not embarrassing to be tied up around the belly? How could someone ever accomplish such a feat? Would they not be considered superior to God then? If someone is superior to him, how can Krishna be considered God? As Damodar, the Supreme Lord not only becomes bound, but he also accepts taunting words. Krishna is in the visual of a small child whose teeth only recently came in. Though young, Krishna is still wise enough to act with intelligence. He breaks a pot of butter on purpose. He is upset with the mother for her brief neglect. She could be excused for stepping away, as she needed to tend to a pot on the stove in the kitchen. Yashoda discovers what Krishna has done. She decides to chase after him, following footprints left behind. Those footprints are made of butter. Yashoda follows the path to eventually reach Krishna. She is chasing him with a whipping stick, showing a threat of punishment. She delivers on the threat by attempting to bind her son to a mortar. She is not really after punishing him. She would rather he remain steady, in one place. As he is known to be chanchal, or always moving, Yashoda mildly taunts her child to attempt to move. Yadi shaknoshi gachatvam ati chanchal cheshtit, itya uktva cha nijam karmasa chakar kutumbini. Quote, O naughty child, now try going from here, if you can. Having spoken thus, she returned to her household duties. Vishnu Purana 5.6. 15. 2. Move at his will. Though Yashoda succeeds in binding Krishna, it is only after her son subtly gives sanction. You see, Yashoda fails in her first attempts. The ropes she uses always end up close, but not long enough to do the job. She even smiles after witnessing the magic. She takes as many ropes as she can find, but still she is short by the width of 2 fingers. It is only when Krishna agrees that she can succeed. This means that no one can really bind Krishna unless they have pure love for him. Krishna was unable to be kept in one place prior to being known as Damodara. Even after being deserving of the name, Krishna was able to move. When Yashoda returned to her household duties, Krishna simply moved. He dragged the mortar with him. This would be something like an adult being tied a car that is in the park gear with the emergency brake set. 3. Knock down 2 trees. To move the mortar is amazing enough, but what Krishna managed to do with the mortar next was so incredible that no one could believe it. Krishna went in between 2 trees. As he moved, the mortar he was tied to became something like a wedge. The laws of physics dictate that the 2 large trees would win this battle against a mortar, especially one tied to a child. Except the force sourced in Krishna was strong enough to knock the trees down. A small child who was supposedly stuck in one place because of punishment from his mother happened to do something no adult would be able to. In any other situation, the mortar would give way to the trees. The rope would break. The person bound to the mortar would get injured. For Krishna, it was child's play. The adults arrived on the scene in the aftermath. The visual was enough to warrant a change in course. Perhaps they should move to some other place. They decided on Vrindavan. Gokula had seen too many close calls. There was the witch named Putna. There was the cart that somehow collapsed on its own. Now there were trees. Large objects were falling left and right, with Krishna in the center of the danger. In closing, like dangerous scene to enter, with Krishna always at center. There was the cart to crash, then large witch ground to smash. Now dropping the large trees must be more than a breeze. Though safe, our child most beloved gift, let us now towards Vrindavan shift.